So this is what we will be creating, a VR world with a sword, zombie, collectible gems, moving cars and buses, fancy cool buildings, trees, nice environment, and yes, Iron Man. So let's start about by creating a new world. Create a new world, name it first world, create world, and editor. Now you can see there is sun, sorry, not the sky, we have a ground, and we have our player avatar. So let's start with the player avatar first. Change the character from here, choose what kind of character you want right now. Currently it's set to Zbot, so we can take the Zimension avatar. Then you can change what type of camera you want, third person camera, first person, these options, distance, height, all of these camera settings are there. Increase the jump height, you can change the sprint speed, things, these things are there. Okay, so here I have added a few items. So a school building is there, car, the road, and the tree is there. So let me quickly simulate how beautiful it looks when you move the sun around. So just check it out. You can take, suppose it's like sun is rising and then it's setting. So it's so beautiful. Correct. Okay, check this out. Look at the shadows, how realistic those shadows are. And so the sun is the highest point at the midpoint. Sun is going at the down point. That also, let's see. Let me show you how you can change grounds in your. So this is currently a white plain set. You can set it to rocky forest. So if we zoom in, so because of LOD settings, you might not be able to see it correctly from the distance. But see, if we have zoomed in, so now at this point you can see there is some rough texture on the ground. Okay. Similarly, if you change it to concrete, this concrete style texture would be applied. Grassy texture is applied, and snow is there. Snow is there. The snow is so real as well. Correct. There is this, and also water. Water would take a little bit of time to set. Oh, so cool. See, check this out. A watery world, and look at those beautiful, beautiful reflections. And then, wow. This was water. And similarly, like we have changed the ground here, you can change the sky as well. So we have check this out. So I can put up a snowy uh land down on sea. Everything is now snowy, 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 snowy. Also, let's try and make it like okay, let me close this one. Good. And let's change it to okay, rocky forest. Shadows are good. And the environment. Let's change it to this one. Nice. Look at this view. Surreal, isn't it? It's a cool one. So yeah, that's how you change environment settings, ground, the sky, the sunlight, all those things. Now let's add some kind of sound also. Okay, we want it to be as a background music. Let's upload a new soundtrack. Upload from device. I guess I downloaded one. Yeah, this one we would do. And add sound playback. We need to click this. Yeah, it would start. Play on start for now. Sound to play volume. Let's decrease the volume to one. Something near one. Okay. It would keep on looping. It would not finish. It would not stop. Okay. This is there. Now let's try out adding a few items to our world. So I plan to create a world with a crossroads. So a road going like this, a road going like this, a few trees here and there, some gyms, some animals, a farmland, school bus, cars, animals like that. So let's see how you can add items from your library. So let's select this main road. Okay. It's like placed here. You can place here. You can turn on snapping, so items would snap to each other, and M to move it. Yeah, okay, this much is good. Now, if you want to scale it freely, you can select the S for scale to free scale. And now, if you hold the handles like these, you would be able to scale them as per your wish. So, okay. And I also want to stretch it. So, yes. Okay. Let's move it and fit it properly like this. Similarly, I would create another road. I can duplicate this, shift D to duplicate. Now I will place it here also. I would R rotate and I would hold down shift while rotating so that it is rotating in like fixed whole number angles. So like see 45, 90, 135 like that. So 90 rotation I want. Now move tool M. I will move it like this. Okay. Yeah. And just a little bit up. Okay. Yeah. Cool. And now let's add a few trees. Yeah, let's add this one. It's really fast. Let's add a few trees on around the. The library is full of different items. So we can simply add any kind of item here. Like we have different categories, low poly, high poly plant, nature toys, etc. etc. You can add just amazing things from here. Now, what? Let's add a zombie. Yeah, that would be good. Okay, so this is the world which I have created. I just fast forwarded the things for you. So there are roads, there is a school building, there is a school bus here, trees are around the place, a cow, a donkey, a horse, a dog, a farmhouse. A few gems are also placed here. Then I have placed a zombie here, a few rocks, cactus, and this medieval kind of building. The cafe is also there, and our avatar is handsomely standing in the center. Also, I have a car here also. Then I have added a player character as well, a lady. So with whom we would be soon interacting and talking. Let's try collecting these gems. So how we can make a gem collectible is by changing a few settings. So let's suppose we select this thing, and this animated 3D model. It was already animated when I imported it from the library. I see it's already animating, so animation is turned on. You can turn it off. I don't want it to collide with the user, so let's turn the collision off. And for now, let's not make it pickable in VR. We would check that out later. Now, I want it to be a collectible, and that's all I need to do about with this. So we can define what would happen. Like when we talk about events, we would check that out. What would happen when the collection is made. So suppose you want to do unlock something or do something like that, you would check it out. Shadows are fine. So yeah, that's all you need to do. This was one gem, and I guess I made another. Let's test out this one also. So okay, animation is turned on, collision is off. Yeah, and I have also made this one as collectible. So what we would do is we would test out quickly if we are able to collect these gems or not. You can save it. You can click preview, and inside the editor only you would be able to test. So see how quick it is. Okay, yeah. Now let's quickly test out our interaction. So if I press shift, I would be able to run, and now see the gems are animating. I can go nearer and I should be able to collect it. Watch out. So we were able to collect it. It hit and it also played a sound. Let's try collecting this one as well. Yeah, we are able to collect it. Okay, so now let's check how we can add some kind of interaction to this character which we have placed here. So basically what we will do is when we walk up near close to this player, to this character, um we want it to wave to us. Okay. And ideally, at the start of the game, it would just display some kind of idle animation. So let's quickly set up the animations first. We would enable animation, add animation, and on start, what we want is we want it to be what idle. Yeah, this one we want, and we want it to loop and all everything. Okay. Now, what next thing is we want interaction. So when we click on interaction, we can name it talk with the lady. Okay. Um, and let's set up another animation which we would trigger when the player interacts with it. So on interaction we have enabled, and what interaction we want is something like, yeah, waving interaction. We don't want it to loop. Okay. So like this, yeah, this type of animation we can preview it here as well. So okay, we've done that, and yeah, let's save it and let's preview it. Okay, so here we are. The animation is being played. Now, if I go near to her, I should get a button. Yeah, F. Press F to talk with the lady. If you press F, she she's waving at us. That's how we add interactions to player. So you can see this car is moving along the road. So how I did it is what I did was I just added a transition. So initial state was it was here and the final state is this, and it's just looping over a period of 5 seconds. So now I will tell you how we can add this transition to this bus as well. So let's select our bus, and let's take it all the way back. Okay, here. Yes, it's good. So this is our initial state. Okay, we can add a state now, and currently we are in state two. So see, state one, state two. Now in every state you can change the rotation, scale, all these properties. Okay. So if you click, and even if you click here, see, it's going to show you what all you can change. So it's nice. Now what I want is for the final state, it should be like moving along the road like this. So I have moved it like that. So if you click on one and two. So these are the two states. Now, how do I move them? I can add a transition now. So I want to name it maybe move bus. Okay. And when I want to play, I want it to play on start. Okay. It would play on start. And I want to give it a duration of like, because it's a school bus, let's not move it like a race car. Let's take a time of 8 seconds. Linear movement I want. You can also set it to smooth. And the next state which I want to add is state 2, to which it would interpolate. And see, now it started moving. Okay, like this. And it's going to loop. And we don't want it to stop, or we can also add a stop animation, but like it's going to stop there only. But we want it to move like regularly. So let's keep it like that. And let's save it and test if it is working. So here comes the car, and here goes the bus. Okay. Yeah, this looks nice. Cool. Okay, now what we will do is we would add some kind of interaction to the sword. So the story is going to be like if the player has collected this sword and then the player goes near the zombie, then the zombie would die. Otherwise, if the player has not collected the sword and the player directly goes to the zombie without collecting the sword, then the zombie would attack the player and then the player would die. Okay. So this would cover three important things, which would be events, variables, and logic, which is like creating the core of your game mechanics. Okay. So yeah, let's get started with that. Okay, so let's first set up our sword for the process. So we need two things. First, we need to add interaction to our sword. So what we would do is when the player comes, we would define this pickup interaction to it. Okay, I've named it up, and I've also created an event which is a collect sword event. So I would also add it here just like it was already. So these two events are now added for interaction. So now, also, as soon as what I want is I want this sword to disappear when it is collected. So I want to disappear it when the collect sword has been done. Okay. So now for collecting the sword, we would have a global Boolean variable which would check if the sword is collected or not. And once this interaction has happened, it would call this function. This event, which is the collect sword. So this event would be responsible for toggling that variable from false to true when the player collects the sword. So we would define a variable here. Let's name it sword collected, and it's going to be a Boolean. Initially, it's going to be false. And let's add it like that. Now we would go to logic and create a new logic in which event collect sword, and we want to change a variable. Our variable is sword collected, and we want it to change it to true. Okay, small letters true, and we would add it. So it would show automatically as soon as we collect our sword, this variable will turn to true. Okay. So now let us set up the zombie for it. So for the zombie, I've added a new animation which would be triggered on an event, and I have defined an event called the dead zombie. So you can name anything. So when I want to kill the zombie, I want to play this event, and the animation is the dead thing. Now other thing is on when the player enters, I want to call in another event which would be responsible for checking if the sword is collected or not. So I have defined another event here, player in, and you can add it like here. Now we have to set up our logic. Let's see that. Okay, so let us create our logic for the zombie. So we'll create new logic, and we want to check conditions basically. So we want to add a player enters, player in, and the variable would be sword collected. We want to check if this variable is true or false. When it is true, the sword is collected. So we want the zombie to die. So we would call dead zombie. And if it is false, we want a zombie to attack. So we have already defined an event attack, which basically plays the attack from animation from the zombie when the player is in vicinity. So we would call attack, and we would save it. Also, I guess. Okay, so we need to create another logic which would play the attack animation from the zombie, and as soon as that is done, we would want our player to die. So we would create a new logic which would trigger event basically. So on the attack event, we want to call the player dead event actually. And after how long we want it to be, let's 0.7, okay, 0.8. Okay. So it would trigger see, attack event would be called, and once attack event is called, let's add it. I would then explain it to you. So when our attack event is called, so at that time the zombie is attacking it, and after zero point 0.8 seconds of it, as we added in our logic, after zero point 0.8 seconds of it, this player dead event would be called. So that's how we have set it up all, and now it's the time to test. Okay, now let's test it. So we would quickly go there, collect our sword, and go and kill this zombie. Hey bro, come. Okay, it's getting killed. But oh wow, it's still moving. Okay, I know how to fix that. Let's go back. Okay, now so the quick fix for this is like we have to add some stop condition for this transition. So let's define a stop condition. So I've created this stop zombie event. We want it to stop when this event is called, so we would have to call it from somewhere. So what we would do is we create a new logic for it. And so currently, if you check out, let me show you. If you check out in our player thing, we are calling dead zombie if the sword is collected. So at the time of dead zombie only, we want to create another. When dead zombie is called dead zombie, we want to trigger some event which would be stop zombie. So once that is called, we automatically stop the zombie. Yes, let's add it. And I guess this should be it. Okay, now let's test it in play mode. Start full screen. And for now, we won't collect it. So let's directly go and meet our zombie friend. Rather not. And there you go. It kills us. So there you are. Now it restarts like this. So let's test with the sword. Now this time we are going to collect the sword. Let's check. Here we are. Have to pick up. Sword disappears. Logic is working. Correct. And now let's see. Okay. And our zombie dead. Great. Kill him again. Okay, so let's see how you can add your own GLB models to your project. So here I go, click on my files. You see this button, upload device, upload from device. I click on that and I can click this Iron Man GLB and it would import the file here with all the animations and everything. And now it is here. And now once we have added the animation and set the position and everything, let's try and go into play mode and let's check it once and all. Start full screen and there he is slowly flying. Oh, I just saved myself from dying. Okay, now let's check out how you can publish your world. So let's save it already. I changed the ground here. Now, if I want to click publish, you can type your version. So let's name it version 0.1.0.0 and I click publish. So it's already published. You can directly play here. So if you click play, you would be just is just same as your play version, which you play button, which is top there. Now you can add into VR. You can enable microphone if it's like a multiplayer. I would also show you how it looks in VR later when the experience is developed. So see, everything is working as we want. So that's how you publish it. Now you can go back to editor. So that's how you. Now, another quick feature is like you can share your world with people. Of course, you have created your game and you want to share it. So you can enter the email and you can provide what type of access do you want them to have. And I have this email. Let's share it with this. And I share it. You can also make it public and you can see manage if you want to remove or what. So that's how. If you want to make it public, you can make it public, and others won't be able to directly edit your world, but they can make a copy and then edit it. So it's always super safe. Yes. So I found a crossroad asset in the library as well. So let's quickly fix that. So I want this sword to be a pickable item so that I can grab it in my hand in VR. So I've turned on this pickable toggle, and you can like have your events called from these things on when the sword is picked up. Maybe we play some sound, and when the sword is dropped, maybe play another sound, something like that. And let's adjust how we hold it in VR. So currently you can check it out. So this is a very nice, cool, and quick feature. So currently your hand is like this, okay? So you should adjust your sword accordingly. So okay, now my sword is ready and let's check it out if it's done. Yeah, it's done. So one more thing which you have to do is like we have to remove the disappear logic. So when the sword is collected, we do not want disappear it. Basically, and also call it on pickup. So as soon as we grab the sword, we want to call this collect sword event. Okay. Yes, that's all I guess. Yeah.
Okay, so I clicked the link in my WhatsApp for the world which we created. Now it's opening up, loading in the browser. Let's start Oculus VR. Yes. And here we are. That's our cute, nice world we created. There is our sword. These are my hands. Trigger, press the grab button to just enable this grab thing. I can rotate, press A button to jump like this. Left joystick to move. This is walking. If I press the right trigger, it sprints like this. Okay. So there it is. And let's go test it out. Let's go here. There is our pickable sword. So let's try out grabbing it. There we go. There is our grab sword as we designed it to like stay like this. So we have grabbed a sword. Now let's go and kill that zombie. There you come, mister. Yo, we killed it. Yay. Finally. Cool. We killed it and there we go. When we leave it, it's again going to drop back to its original animating states. We can collect those gems. Aha. Collected it. Let's go meet Mr. Iron Man once and for all. Sir, we are coming. Oh, whoa. Oh, God. I was run over by the car. And there we go. It restarts. Just like that. So that was us in VR, the lovely game which we created. Okay, guys, so I literally taught you how to create your game blazing fast in 30 minutes. And now you know it, you can do it even faster. That's the power of Zimension. It's intuitive, it's quick, and it's fun. Get out there and keep doing XR.